Today we're doing front brakes on a 2019 RAV4. Cool, thank you. That'll actually work pretty well, I think. Yeah. Gotta do what you gotta do, right? All right, let's see what I got in here. Stuff for the brakes. You little bitch. There you go.
For lunch too, if you want me to, I can give you snack wrap.
Ooh. McDonald's snack wrap.
Without grief.
Double chicken Chipotle. I can't remember the last time I did not order like double chicken Chipotle stuff, so I've been giving them too much money for a while now. I remember that was like a staple during like dieting phase, was like a chicken burrito, light cheese, or even no cheese was like 750 calories because the tortilla is like fucking 3.
Yeah. I know, I love their burritos. I love the tortillas, but I just like...
It's so much. It's, yeah, it's like, doesn't make any
and
sense.
to make me, like...
Yeah, like it's, yeah. Well, and the same thing too, because I always eat chips, and that's just so many fried tortillas.
I love their chips. When they're good.
When they're good.
Right.
I swear, each Chipotle in town is a totally different experience, and I hate, it kind of like ruins my appetite whenever I get a soggy chip.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like
Soggy and super salty.
You like those?
soggy.
Ugh. It's just a tortilla. Okay, so where I just put that jack stand,
Yep.
it's not quite touching the car. So I'm going to lower this in a second. Would you mind just making sure that I basically just want to make sure that it comes down and touches the car. There's like a tooth spot. I'm going to try to lower it slowly, but it rarely works out.
You're good.
Cool. We'll just leave that for now. Cool. Nice mug. Well, both of them.
You recognize that photo? I think I got that one for you
Doggy.
in Montana.
Oh,
You got me that one, and then you got Brandon the blue one with the area code on it.
that's right.
6.
Yeah.
Okay.
Do you mind? I just need to get your special lock thing out of the trunk.
Good.
The reason why I cut it down to chairs is because Maddie and I went to Matchbox Twenty.
Yes.
We brought chairs, and we did not sit on them once.
No, you walk around. Yep.
You walk around the time and like you have to constantly go back to the chairs to make sure it's fine, you know.
How, by the way, before you do that, how much are you know, like that?
Yeah, I was gonna say,
I need a high-end one. Real.
concrete.
Concrete, yeah.
So I'm glad you asked, because for a while, like, I never had anything like this, and there's so many situations I needed it. So I've seen a lot of DeWalt deals. So let me just like find a deal, I guess, because they're not. If you buy them new, they're like a couple $100. But if you,
That's gonna get nowhere.
and one of these in the DeWalt version would probably come with like a bigger battery, which it probably wouldn't need it, because the only reason you really would want a bigger battery is hammering on something for like a couple minutes straight. But if you're just doing bursts of something, you know. This is actually going to work out well. Like, this is plenty of space. Like, imagine what it was like for me when I used to do things at the townhome.
Mom's like Jetta would barely fit.
Yeah.
She said she scraped that against the door.
Do you want to? Yeah.
Yeah.
So this is kind of weird. So what I like to do for these, because you don't really have a lot of like contact, so I'd take this and just put it on there and make sure you'll find that it kind of like locks in if you get it just right. Okay. And then you actually just put this back on. And then it's like an extension, basically. Ta-da.
Was like admiring my car with like all the extra stuff that took a deal with it.
Yeah.
And he's like, even with these protectors, people still seem to ding your car, don't they? And I'm like, yep, they find ways. He was like, God, I just love Toyotas.
Such a...
Yeah.
I love this.
Oh, I love it.
I think he said he had a Ford and then he switched to a Camry or something.
Sure.
And I was like, yeah, Brandon, or my husband has a Ford Fusion, and then my brother has a F-150. And he goes, oh, F-150, man. If I could afford that, I'd buy that in a heartbeat. Yeah.
Buddy. Okay, so I think we're still going to be good. So if you want to see, I can show you exactly where I'm looking.
Yeah.
So this is the pad itself.
Yep.
And if you kind of get, so like this is the metal of the pad
Yep.
right here. And then there's kind of like right here what's actually touching this is the pad material. So actually it's not as low as I kind of remember seeing it.
Maybe just that side.
And there's like a little window right here where you can kind of see the pads. It's just hard to tell what you're kind of looking at sometimes. I would say it's probably got like 20 to 10 or 20% left.
Well, let me go get your pads right into it.
I honestly think I check it like every time I do an oil change.
Oh, yeah?
And I think we'll check them.
Yeah.
We'll check them because we can actually see them without taking the wheel off, which is kind of nice. So, I mean, maybe like double the thickness that's on there right now or so.
Aha, now I know.
Yeah. Like, and maybe the inside ones are worse, or the other side too. We'll see what we see when we get in there. But, okay, I'm going to think about what I need.
I'm just splitting this into two so you have on both sides.
Thank you. Should we break out some of your DeWalt sockets to do this?
Sure.
If they're easily accessible?
What that?
Not sure. We're gonna have to find out. Probably a 14. The biggest pet peeve I have when trying to record things is when the camera isn't, like, what you're doing isn't in view. Like if you're working on something and all of a sudden you're like doing something that the camera can't see. I've had that happen so many times when I've done things, and it just makes you so flustered. Let's see. So this is 14. We're gonna take this off. Okay. Okay, so we'll do the same thing on the other side, just to give you a chance to do it too.
Yep.
But all I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take this bolt and this bolt, and realistically what I'm gonna try to do is just take this one out, and I'm gonna take this whole thing and just flip it upwards and see if it gives us the access that we need. So I'm just taking out the bottom one for now.
Yep. You got some get into it.
Yeah. A longer ratchet definitely helps too. So if you need something with more leverage. What a nice chill Saturday. I'm all for it. Okay. Saying it's a nice chill Saturday. Like we don't have to like rush on this, like right. When it really shouldn't be this cold anymore, but it is. Of course.
Today the first day of March. Yep.
Yeah.
Wow, starting the month off now.
Is it tight?
No.
If this helps. I don't know if I threw that far enough, but more leverage might help too. And like the stress that comes with that, it's like, okay, so that was a crazy year, so can we do a non-crazy year? Like just a little bit, please.
Maybe a bit.
Just yeah, so actually, let me see what you got going on over there.
So are these the OGs?
They must be. Okay, yep, so that one. Put that down. And then what I would do, I actually made a little bit of a change of plan. I took this bolt out because I don't want this line to get all like tight.
Sure.
So it's same thing. And then I took this bolt out and I'm hanging this from up here. So do you have like a bungee or like a hook? I only brought one. To hang. So if you see this here, you just hang these out of the way. So I'm just looking for something that I can tie it up, like zip ties or a bungee.
So you took it off there too, yeah?
Correct. Oh, nice, big box hole.
None in there. I gotta open this thing.
Nice. I was gonna say, do you have a light? Like a...
Are these too small? Oh, well,
I could just... Yeah, for sure. Thank you. Can I get like 6 of them, please? Thank you. Okay, and then all we're gonna do is we're just gonna hang the joys of like knuckle busted.
Yep, a little bit.
That's welcome to the car world, right? That's okay. This is an old pad thing. Could do.
right up here.
If it's a weird angle, you could.
There's 2 rolls of it.
Let's do that today then.
No.
We have all of everything that we possibly need to replace it.
It should be on backwards or reverse.
Like,
There we go. Okay. Yeah, how cold is this holding it in your hand?
very.
Yeah, metal tools.
Oh.
I know. Okay, so
Bungee. You're a zip tie?
so what we're gonna do is I'm just gonna put the zip tie like up here. You okay with your hands?
Yeah.
Okay. Just like that. Thank you. This up here.
Is this gonna be strong enough?
I don't know. We're gonna see. Can always add a couple more if we need to. Okay, and if you just kind of let it go gently. Cool.
Here's the-
So then you can just grab these, and they should just yank right out of there, basically. And then they should look like this. Well, they do get stuck for sure.
Oh, what was that?
That's like the backing. Nothing that we probably need. I think they come on new ones. But you can kind of see how. So this is like the inside. This is the outside.
Yep.
The outside's a little bit thicker than the inside, so it is good that we're doing this.
Yeah.
Because you can see how like thinner.
Oh, my, that one's really thick still. Or not really, but
Yeah.
pretty.
So it's like, if you just look at the outside ones, which are really the only ones you can see, like without taking the wheel off, usually they're supposed to be even. I'm not too concerned because it's a newer vehicle. But yeah. So then all we're going to do is you can pull the other one off that's on the inside. Inside, outside.
Oh yeah, same thing.
Yep. Like thinner.
Yep.
And then, so it's good that we're doing this then. So we got these, and then we got some new clips. So then, on your side, all you have to do now that we have the pads out, let's take this and show you, is we're just going to take these little clips. So you can just put these in. And then these you can pretty much just manhandle. So it looks like there's going to be 4 individual ones. And I can give you this here in a second. I'm back in my roots doing jobs on the ground. Can't bring a lift up here. This actually is not bad at all. So like it really, I appreciate the offer to like do it in Mankato, but it's like,
Yeah, you're fine with that.
we're not doing it in the middle of the snow, right? Like,
Yeah. So, could you, like, could a car go its whole life, if you replace the brakes, the brake pads regularly, could you go, or could it go its whole life without replacing the rotors?
good question. No.
No. Okay.
Because basically, like, the brakes are like the softer material, so they do like wear down. But it's always going to take a little bit of thickness out of these as time goes on. So you'll see sometimes like crazy TikToks where like this metal has just become so thin. So basically, like when they're rubbing, this loses like 90% of its like material, but this loses like 10. So these last a long time,
Yeah.
but they eventually start to become skinnier.
Gotcha.
And like,
So, like, next time I do my brake pads, I have to do the rotors as well.
I would say probably, and I would say the only thing that we really care about for these right now is when we put the new pads in, we're going to kind of like break them in. And then all I care about is if you ever are driving, coming to a stop, like Alice, I think, used to do this, but like the vibration,
The vibration.
that's these. If it does that, then it's like, okay, let's do those. And you should do both at the same time, but whatever. Okay, so next thing is these pins right here. These slide in and out. And they should move pretty freely. It feels like these are kind of frozen, so we're actually going to lube these. So I would just, on your side, you can kind of like push them in, make sure they kind of move like this. And then I would pull on the boot. Actually, I'm sorry. Right here. You kind of like pull and then pull the bolt out. Pull it back. And just make sure when you pull this out,
Yep.
I would just kind of hold it up in the air. Like, don't let it touch the ground because it's got like lube on it. I just don't want like dirt and grit. And if that doesn't make any sense, let me know. But
Where do you want to put it?
I would keep track of which one. So that's the top one.
Is that top one, Brandon?
Yep.
I'll take them. We'll just put them on the workbench for.
Yeah.
Yeah, so actually we're just going to clean up the lube on the pins over here on the workbench. We're going to slab them up. My camera's beeping. I'm just seeing what it's trying to say to me. Sure. Okay. Yeah, exactly. Yep, we're just cleaning the gook off. And we probably could get away without doing this, but we're in here, we might as well. So then these chemicals get all messy, so I'm going to do these so that you don't have to touch them with your hands, unless... Even though I should have gave it to you a while ago, but
that wax ring off. That shit was disgusting.
I'm sure on an old toilet it was like, yeah, usually they're pretty pristine. They just look like silicone donuts or whatever.
Yep. No, that was
Not so much.
And then
It's
thank you. The best.
little paintbrush. So this one is ready.
The bigger, taller ones are. That one goes on the bottom.
Yep.
I'm just here to keep everybody organized.
And keep the mood nice and light.
I don't know about that.
Usually when I'm working in the shop, especially on camera, like I just keep things quiet when I'm recording stuff because I don't want like copyright music or something, you know, in the background. And I really don't use the audio in my recordings. But sometimes like when I'm doing like an impact, like I want people to kind of like hear the shop sounds. It's so annoying recording on my own because A, it's stressful because you're just by yourself in the quiet. And B, when I go to review the footage, it's just me fucking breathing the whole time. It's not flattering.
I don't know if you ever realized it, but you have you single-handedly taught me so much. Just watching videos and working with you. So
Well, I appreciate that.
that's why I'm always out here, and every time that you're trying to work, I'm trying to work too.
Well, and it's a lot easier when there's somebody, even if we both had no idea what the fuck we're doing, it's just kind of better when you got somebody with you. It's less stressful. Well, like I said, you've pulled more toilets than I have.
Yeah, if anyone needs a bathroom repair, I think I can get that squared away for you.
Yeah, we have a lot of time.
That's awesome, Megan. That's massive. I could probably say more so than I-
Isn't it crazy how much can just be hiding up there and you like don't even...
Well, because we were wondering, like, with the shed, or I'm sorry, not the shed, porch. We were wondering if if this siding's even available anymore.
Yeah. Tell me about
It
it.
would have been like kind of putting lipstick on a pig. But
I know. And then it's like, if you don't have the available siding, it's like, what are you supposed to do? Like, you're not going to re-side.
oh,
I dealt with that when I had the fucking crack in my siding and I had to order from Menards. When I saw that I could, it was like the first week we had the house.
Mhm.
And I'm sure you guys saw it, but I ordered like a couple $100 worth of it. And I haven't even opened it yet. But it's like, there. Now I fucking have it. It's such a dad thought.
Because there's a couple cracks on our siding around the house.
Okay, so we have lubed for both those pins. Do you have them pushed in so that they kind of like are squished against the rubber again?
yes.
Cool. So now all we're gonna do is we're gonna put these in, and I'm gonna paint some it's like silver lube, but it gets everywhere. So I just don't want to get on the rotor. So we'll clip these in and I'll come paint it, and then we'll slap the pads in, and that's it. So these should all be pretty much the same. Let me just see, because sometimes you kind of have to figure out which go to what. And we know we don't probably need these. Let's just see if I can kind of match them. Okay. So I should have 4 and you should have 4. I was going to say, please don't skimp. And then I think all we're going to do here is I can kind of organize these for you here in a second. Because I got to trial and error myself. So I think these are just going to, they're going to clip in with like the ear facing away from these each time. So you just kind of like shove them in there. Because I want them to match, because the pads need to slide in. So I need to do not this, not this, but this one. Yes. So see if I can get that in there. Sometimes these require like a little bit of like a screwdriver to shove them in, but
I got 3 of the same one.
okay. Yeah, so Yeah, so I guess, and obviously just, we can take a look over there too, but, so yeah, the ear goes out, and then make sure that just the ears match each other. You see how they're, and then the pad will basically just go like,
Oh.
so it'll basically, it's like a spring and it will just kind of pop in. So yeah, let's see. So I need one of these. I'll just make sure that I grab the ones I need so then it's one less for you to deal with. So I need this one. And then I need thank you. Not this one. This one. I'm not really explaining it very well, but does that kind of
Yeah, I think I
make sense?
left the inside on both sides and
The ear facing out and
yeah.
cool. Okay.
So both the bottom ones.
It's not the same woodpecker, but there's totally one over there going to town on something. Brrr. Okay. Yeah. What's-
smiling? I'm pretty sure I'm in.
And we'll know pretty quickly, like when we try to put the pads in, they should go in pretty smoothly, so. And I can help with that too, just to be sure. I'm just assembling them over here too. Wow. It's the little things, right? Okay. So I put these little clips on just because the original ones had them. So I'm just matching those. So I got all four ready. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to assemble my side quick just to make sure I know how it's supposed to go. And then we'll do your side too. And these do not fit on here anymore, so that's fine. They have their own, so that's good. I don't think there's anything else in here besides some lube, but we have our own thing of it, so. Okay, so this should go kind of in like this. And this should go in like that. So, okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to put yours to the side for a second. And when it comes to brake pads, like the big thing really is just not to like touch the pad itself.
Okay.
It's probably less of an issue because we have gloves on, but like if you have chemicals on your hands or if you have like oil on your fingers, it's kind of like changing a light bulb though in a car, right? Like you're not supposed to touch it with your hands or whatever.
Mm-hmm. That's one thing that I'm surprised, like, well, I guess all my legs are not.
Yeah, so you don't have to worry too much about it.
Yeah. Alice heard light bulb used to go out all the time.
Same with Rachel's Impala. Would eat tail light bulbs and like, I feel like I was always at Menards or Walmart.
I remember one time Alice, her light bulb went out, and it was on the way to school, and I had an extra light bulb in my car.
He did
So
whip.
I literally just did it in the West parking lot. What are you doing? I'm replacing the light bulb.
I'm so proud. I just remember that time when you first got Alice and her shifter exploded at Quick Trip with you and Maddie, right?
Yeah.
Like the fucking
screw that held it all together at like the bottom of the like shaft, basically. It like came undone, and then it made the whole thing explode. So I went to press in the button to like shift it, and I released it, and it like just shot out. And I was like,
oh fuck.
I can't move. Like I literally could not put my car back into park.
Yeah. Well, yeah, you can't. And I remember we came and I think I just tightened the screw back up or whatever, but it was like all apart.
Yeah, we had to like put it back together. Like the spring was in one part of my car, the button itself or whatever that is was on one side.
Okay, so all I'm doing is I'm basically like lubing up where it's going to touch and basically move back and forth. Like not a lot because people like overdo it. So then I'm basically just going to put one ear in, kind of move the pad inside of here. And then it should just go boop. And then it's done. So it's just kind of annoying getting around this. So I'm going to do this side and then we can do yours together. No. Okay. Then, so then this should go just the same way. And I can see absolutely nothing. There. And then they get sandwiched. So let's do, I'm going to hand you this so you have some light. You can take these. So, yeah, you can definitely like mock it up a little bit and like kind of get an idea for how you have to like shimmy it in there. You had it right. Yep, just like that. So then I can take that. Sorry, I jacked your spot for a second. Okay. And it's nice because you'll kind of like, it'll find its way home. Like, you know, kind of when it slides into place. So all I would do is just like you did, try to kind of move it in there. And then I would try just not to touch any of this gray shit. If you can avoid it. Okay, and then it's gonna go in like that.
Oh, Brandon, we do have the little chainsaw here.
Yeah.
I was looking at that little the jigsaw from Grandpa Don, that tan one. Yeah. So, just make sure that I gave it to you right and I didn't set you up for a failure. Nope, that looks good. So then all I do is I kind of like put the butt end in first, if I can. Because I kind of like just stop dealing with that thing.
So instead of going straight on, I should have gone. Gotcha. Alright, now I'm with you.
So I'll paint this next one. And then the backside's easier because you don't have this to deal with.
Right,
So it's like,
gone that way, like 45.
yeah, like put the, yeah. And honestly,
you were talking about like putting this.
I actually totally was, so I was not giving you good direction. Putting the bottom in for.
Like all the levels.
Certainly as you should.
Nice, that was a good sound. Okay. So these next parts are kind of delicate, so I'm going to do probably both of these if you don't mind.
Yeah.
Because basically I have to push the thing that we have hanging from the zip ties. You technically have to push it back in, and you just, sometimes it doesn't work very well, so let's just see what happens. It should be fine here because these aren't going to be rusted and frozen, but Okay, so we have this. I'm just going to think for a sec. So we have the lube, both of these. This is ready to come back down, basically. I'll kind of tell you what I'm doing. So this piston has to get pushed back in because these are now thicker than those. So this has to go like get pushed backwards so that it fits over the fat new ones.
Okay.
So all I do is I take an old pad, and the whole time I'm basically trying to make sure I don't kink this line because this weighs a shit ton and can rip the brake line, so I don't want to do that. So all I'm doing here is putting this tool in. So then basically all I'm doing is I'm just slowly ratcheting. It's basically just pushing it back in.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. And you definitely want to be careful because, like, if you crank them down, it's kind of like a one-way street, and you're not really supposed to push them back like super hard. So, like in Alice, where they're frozen, it's more of a problem. But these just go back in.
How do you know when click or?
Yeah, so it'll just get tight when it reaches. Basically, it's going to push up against like this, and then it will basically stop. So right there, it's pretty much tight. So now I just, it's got a little bit of a bubble to it. That's fine. They usually do. Just had some air pockets, so I just had to kind of like pull it to the side. So yeah, so basically that's in now. Mm-hmm. And now, because it's fully retracted, it should just now sit on these like that. And then these will go in.
If you want to do that, I can.
Yeah. I'll get these started for you. Because you kind of have to line it up a little bit. And then actually, yeah, and then we'll have Megan press on her brake pedal because that'll kind of push the piston in and squeeze after I do the other side. So yeah, I would just say the ratchet with the socket. And then I would tighten them till they get tight, but don't crank on them. And then I'll come help make sure that they're kind of tightened the way that they need to be, I guess. Okay, so Brandon's side, clips and pads. Yep, I don't have to change anything over here. This will be a natural stopping point for part 1. Part 2 will be coming out shortly, and I'll make sure to link that below. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next one.